All right, so good evening, membership traders, and a very happy new year to you too. This is our first Thursday evening class of this new year. We are on the 2nd of Jan 2020, 8:30 p.m. like always. So let's get going and let's talk about our Nifty and Bank Nifty view. Top-down approach like always on the Nifty, weekly chart, very much within the channel. We spoke about early signs of divergence shaping up. So just remember one thing that going forward from where we are right now, the important level from a short-term perspective is going to be the weekly low, means this week's low. Until and unless this week's low is breached or broken on the downside, don't expect too much bearishness coming in from the market. Um, it's been 4 weeks now that the lows are higher and some degree of a short-term weakness can only come in once weak low is breached. This is on the basis of short-term divergences between price and momentum indicators. Intermediate trend intact, strong. The yellow channel has been confidently broken on the upside. All set for higher upsides for the Nifty from a medium to long-term perspective as per the weekly chart. Let's go down to the daily chart and get a little short-term perspective. What do we have here? We have a consolidation. We have the index going range bound, and with today's nice move, close to 1% move that we had on Nifty, it's back to its previous high. So it's trying to give us a breakout. We had kept this blue channel intact, expecting that it can give some support. Well, there you go. It has proven itself and it has given us good support. Now that this channel has given us support as anticipated, we will keep this channel as it is. We will see whether this acts later in the future or not. Daily chart does not pose any threat as of now, apart from the fact that if we change it into a slightly line chart, we see a bit of slowdown from our momentum indicators. But nevertheless, it's in a strong uptrend and it's on the verge of a breakout on the upside. Interesting chart would be the one time frame lower, which we open the 75-minute chart now. This is interesting because you remember that we drew this box last week and it has proven support multiple times. So from a short-term perspective, this zone acts as good support. That's close to 12,120, 12,150, 160 zone. Today's move was pretty good, pretty strong, one way. It's back to its previous highs. The momentum is intact. We don't see any kind of threat coming in from our momentum indicators. We can see a short-term dip considering we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive 75-minute bars which have gone positive. So we can see a little bit of ease off, but supports are holding well, anticipated supports that we draw. So we should be expecting further moves coming in from the Nifty. If it decides to stay range bound, if it decides to spend some more time within this range, then we know where the short-term supports are, which has proven very strong. So the other way to look at it is, because your anticipated supports have held the market, in case the market comes down, in case it comes down all the way down to the supports, and in case the supports get broken, breached on the downside, then that is a serious sign. That is a serious sign that the markets are weak. But that's a little far off from the current juncture. We expect a short-term correction tomorrow, early first half, and then probably a continuation on the upside if the market decides that it is going to break out and post newer life highs. Seems so. It is all destined to do that. Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty is also equally range bound. It's got a pretty decent range. And with today's move, it has inched back to its highs. And it seems like this guy is also on its way for a breakout. Let's look at the weekly charts. Now on the weekly charts, if you recall, if you remember that we had drawn this red channel, this one, and we've been talking about the upper boundary of this red channel, which was close to that 33,000, a little above that, a couple of months back when we had this breakout. Now, slowly but surely, the index is pushing itself for a possible test of 33,000 or a little above that. The reason is very clear. We can see that on the candlestick charts, the tail or the lower shadows are prominent compared to what it was before. This is a sign that the market is not willing to come down. Even if it's coming down, it's bouncing back towards the highs. Weekly chart, don't see any threat coming in from the momentum indicators. We should not question the trend or the strength of the trend. And I think we should eye towards the 33K mark. Daily charts, once again, the daily chart is range bound. We had kept this red channel because it had given supports and resistances. So we can expect that once it goes further up, it can give us some amount of resistance up here. Daily momentum is slowing down, but it seems like it has caught on to some strength, caught on to some space, not strength, and it's all poised for a breakout. Same conclusion we can draw here, that if the index fails to breaks out, and it slips down and goes within this range, then this range, definitely the range supports and the range resistances are the critical levels for the Bank Nifty. These levels will be clearer from the 75-minute chart. So we had this wedge breakdown, comes down all the way close to the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, which we drew here last week, got a bounce back, and it's kind of oscillating within this typical range. Important thing would be if we stretch this lower border of the wedge, then we can see supports acting as resistances. So we can actually keep this further ahead like this and see whether the Bank Nifty has the strength to go all the way up here or not. It will be very interesting to watch because this is where the channel borders are there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive positive bars on the 75-minute means it has given quite a bit of strength and move. Momentum is likely to go overbought very soon. So short term, it can ease off a little bit, but there is no reason to be bearish right now. Unless these lows are broken, both the Bank Nifty and the Nifty seems to be fairly bullish on the charts. We should not question the strength. We should not question the momentum. We should stay with the trend and expect both the indices, Nifty and the Bank Nifty, to move further up. As it goes further up, levels are well decided, are well kept into view, where we expect that the Nifty can, or the Bank Nifty can go up and touch those levels. Sign of worry will only come when the recent week's lows are broken, both for the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty, mainly for the Nifty compared to the Bank Nifty. So if we close our view on the index, we should be saying that we are bullish. We were cautiously bullish, but now we are bullish. As long as the weekly lows are not broken, we should keep our bias for positive trades. If the stocks or the indices are coming down, look for some supports or some hidden divergences and look to go into some swing long trades. Until unless weekly lows are broken, there's no reason per se to change this stance. Right? So that's our view on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. As always, let's start your doubts and questions, the trades that you've done this week, and what have we learned from these trades. Please start asking your doubts and questions.